Hello and welcome to this edition of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I've never had a guest on here actually play along with the theme song. And to top it all off, it sounded really good. This week we got Nick Fiveash. How you doing, Nick?
All right, good to meet you.
Great to have you on the show. Back there on the controls, we got Tim Childrey. I'm your host, Brian Mallard.
Hello, guys.
So, Nick, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where were you born?
I was born in Brunswick, Georgia. It's right in the corner. It's right on the coast, right by St. Simon's, Jekyll Island, about 40 minutes away from Savannah.
Wow. Did you spend much time there?
Yeah. I spent the first 19 years of my life or so.
Cool. Because I just recently have discovered Savannah myself, and I don't know if I've been to Brunswick, Georgia. I may have passed through, but I can't say it for sure. But Savannah's awesome.
Yeah, Savannah's really cool. Brunswick's, it's all right. The islands are where you want to go, though, like St. Simon's and Jekyll.
Right, yeah.
Those are really cool.
With all the forts and stuff they have down there?
Yeah, and they have all the cool beaches and tourist stuff, you know.
Nice. So what'd your parents do?
My mom's a teacher. She's a pre-K teacher.
Cool.
My dad is a welder. He is the quality control manager for a small corporation called Grabber, and they contracting stuff. Works for other big companies, just building stuff. And
you know, you got to throw this in there. Owned by Donald Trump, Grabber. Had to, guys. I haven't said anything political the whole time. I had to.
Oh Lord.
I like to start a little spark every now and then.
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
So, were your parents musical at all?
My mom and my dad both. Or yeah, my dad used to play guitar, and my mom likes to sing. And he was always around when I was growing up, and they're both really supportive of what I do. So
that's cool.
Lucked out.
And you're really good at what you do.
I try to be.
Just given what he was doing on the intro when the show was coming on. That's the first time he's ever heard it.
I just heard it.
It's awesome. So tell me a little bit about what made you decide that you wanted to pursue music.
Well, I mean, I just picked up the guitar when I was like 11 or 12. I had been playing trombone for a few years in the school band, and I thought it was pretty cool. You know, I liked music, but then when I picked up the guitar, I started getting all right at it, and I started getting really good at it, and then I realized, I can keep doing this. I think I can do it. So decided to go to school for it. Yeah,
now we're going to get into that in just a second. Did you grow up listening to a lot of music?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what were some of the people?
A lot of stuff. Well, when I was like, really, I mean, when I first started actually listening to music, I was listening to like older stuff that I had on cassette tapes that my parents had, like some Glenn Miller, some blues albums, a couple of Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, and some. My dad listened to like all the rock and roll stuff, so I got a good bit of that from him.
Cool. Got a good dose of both. Now I noticed a lot of jazz influence in your stuff.
Oh yeah. That's what I go to school for.
Okay. Now let's enter into your formal education because it has served you well.
Yeah. I started going to school for music about 3 years ago. When I got there, I couldn't even read music.
Wow.
Couldn't even read it. I auditioned for the jazz program. I learned 3 pieces by ear. Played it for him, and he put a piece of music in front of me and said, "All right, play that." And I said, "Nope, can't do it."
Well, I have a question while Brian moves his chair off the thing behind him there. But Nick Fiveash, that's kind of is that your stage name or?
No, that's my actual name.
That's your actual name.
It's one that was given to me.
That is cool.
Well, we were talking about that before. Do you have any Native American in you? Or?
I mean, maybe. I'm not too sure. I know the name Fiveash is actually British. It's from the UK. There's a place in Great Britain, I forget where it's at or what it's actually called, but it's like Fiveash Town or something like that.
Interesting.
Right?
I think so. Yeah. But, yeah.
It's a pretty interesting name.
Yeah, I was
especially in the South. I mean, it's one you've never heard before.
Oh, right. Yeah, I've never met a Fiveash before.
Oh yeah. There's a lot. Well, there's a good bit of us down here. I mean, you got to look for us. There's one because I go to the coffee shop, Fountain City,
right?
And I got given my name for get my free coffee every 11 coffees, and they said there's another person named Fiveash in there, some Jessica Fiveash.
Wow.
And another person.
Get out of town.
Yeah, and another person told me about her. And then they said that they were in jail together, and I said, "All right, so they are related, probably." Makes sense.
Awesome. So let's go a little bit more into your education. You told them, nope, you're not going to play that because you couldn't read music. And I, ladies and gentlemen, can also not read music. But tell us how it went from there.
Well, it was really hard. It sucked. It took me a long time to actually learn how to do it. I'm still getting better at it. I mean, I still can't do some things. It's very hard to just go from not being able to do it to being able to do it.
Right.
But I feel like I've got a good enough ear, and I can read well enough now where I'm pretty rounded, and I think I can take it from there.
That's cool. Now, do you write as well, or do you just...
Not a whole lot. Since I've been in school, I haven't really had the time to
Right.
focus on anything like that, because it takes focus.
It does,
It
yes.
takes time and effort, and that's just stuff I had. But I always noodle around, and I come up with little ideas, and little chord progressions, and melodies and stuff, and I keep those around just in case for later.
Right, yeah.
I'm assuming when you say go to school, you're going to Columbus State.
Oh yes, Columbus
Okay.
State University at the Schwab School of Music.
Ah, yes, I've heard of them.
The Schwab.
Schwab.
The Schwab.
It's cool. I'm actually the only jazz guitar player there,
Oh, really?
and I have been since I got there.
Wow.
So that's cool, and it's a good and a bad thing.
But it puts a lot of pressure on you at the same time.
I'm in all the ensembles that require that, and it's good. It's a good experience. It means I play more.
You play more, and you get really good at it because you play extensively. I mean, it really shows. What do most of the people there play?
Well, they're mostly classical. Our jazz program is getting better by the minute.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great professor, Dr. Kevin Whalen. He's the jazz guy, and he's really professional. He's been around. He played with the Glenn Miller Band.
Wow.
He played with so many famous jazz musicians, and he's he knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we keep getting better. But we still don't have another guitar player, so
Right.
I'm it for now.
And I'm definitely not it because I cannot touch jazz.
Which is cool. I'm a jazz fanatic, man. So,
see-
that's just me.
That's the thing, and maybe Nick can shed a little light on this. Some people respond better to different types of music. Like, I'm a rock and roll player, but I like jazz. I can get into jazz. I can't play it, but I can get into it. Blues bores me to tears. Is there like some scientific reason for that? Like how somebody
Well, I'm sure there is. Goes back to your musical taste depends on how you were brought up and when you were brought up.
Yeah.
When I'm sure the poppy music when y'all were younger is a lot different than the poppy music I grew up with.
Right.
And so that's definitely influenced my taste in music. But I still listen to older music too, so that has another part of my upbringing. My parents introduced me to a lot of that stuff, and a lot of people's parents, I guess, don't do that because a lot of kids my age aren't into the stuff I'm into.
I used to back in the day when I was young. It was a day way back, but I used to tune into. I grew up in Waverly Hall, and I used to tune into 88.1, which is a classical music channel.
Oh yeah.
And I always loved. You could turn off the lights. You could almost see the notes in the air. You could see the sounds. And I have accumulated a mass of jazz and classical vinyl from thrift shops over the years. I've got quite a collection of that. One day I'll get a record player and actually play some of it.
Well, my journey actually came really a weird way. How I got into jazz? I just liked the century that it was in.
Right.
The clothing, the
yeah.
styles, whatever, and it just led me to jazz. Now, when I was growing up, we're not going to go there. I got all this gray hair, but no, it was actually back in the 70s, the 80s, and of course, that was purely rock and roll back then.
Right. Yeah.
And having a brother that's a musician, we were around rock and roll pretty much 24/7.
Yeah.
But as I began to get older, and I think it started like with a Halloween deal, had to dress up, and I dressed up in an old 20s type thing, and I said, hey, I'm gonna take some music, and I listened to jazz, and suddenly it just took off, man. I love jazz, I love blues, and I don't know, rock and roll these days is kind of gone, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
You gotta know where to look now. It's not as it's not as evident anymore. But there is still good stuff out there. It's just harder to find.
Right. It's not in the
It's not out there.
Yeah.
You got to look for it.
Yeah.
And that's it's tough to know where to look. But there's some good stuff nowadays. But yeah, when I was growing up, I was listening to older stuff that other kids weren't listening to. Like everybody's listening into Green Day and the All American Rejects and all these little bands that I'm just like, nah, I like older stuff. And I was also a guitar player, so there's no big name guitar players that have come out in the past 10, 15 years.
Right. Yeah.
I think the last couple of guitar players that came out as like the new guys were like John Mayer and maybe like Brad Paisley and Derek Trucks. I think those are like. No, there's probably some other ones. Like in the realm of heavy metal and rock and roll, it's like, yeah, but the big names, as far as guitar players are concerned, they're dwindling.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine was John Lennon, and no, I'm kidding. I'm not that old, man. But,
Excuse me. While I'm coughing my lungs out here, Tim's going to bring up a commercial, and we're going to come back and we're going to listen to Nick play some music. And we'll be right back after this.
Come join us every week for Open Mic Thursdays at Fountain City Coffee with your host, Brian Mallard. Registration begins at 6:30. Show runs from 7 to 10. Uptown Columbus, where the vibe is. Timeless Beauty at the Gypsy Cherub, 3760 Woodruff Road, Columbus, Georgia. Class is back in style.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
My baby don't stand no cheating, my babe. My baby don't stand no cheating, my babe. My baby don't stand no cheating. She don't play none of that midnight creeping, my babe. True little baby, my babe. My baby don't stand no fooling, my babe. My baby don't stand no fooling, my babe. My baby don't stand no fooling. When she's hot, there ain't no cooling, my babe. True little baby, my babe. My babe, I know she loves me, my babe. My babe, I know she loves me, my babe. My babe, I know she loves me. All she ever do is kiss and hug me, my babe. True little baby, my babe. My babe, is there no cheating, my babe. My baby don't stand no cheating, my babe. My babe don't stand no cheating, 'cause everything she do so pleasing, my babe. True little baby, my babe.
All right. Oh, thank you very much, Nick. I didn't think I was going to get on camera today, but I have to get up here so Brian can get settled in. Hey, in the meantime, we want to wish each and every one out there to have a good and safe holiday season.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Because the way this, let me switch this back over. The way this weather is going right now, I was thinking about this today. It's like 60 degrees, 20 degrees. It's, last week we were looking at fire coming in town,
right.
Smoke from fire, and then suddenly it's dumping rain for the next 2 to 3 days, and then going back in the it's crazy. So for all of you guys that are watching in other places of the world, you're blessed, man. I know a young lady that she watches from Hawaii. And she was sitting here the other day posting on there, I'd love to have my, because she's actually from Columbus, so I'd love to have my winter and so forth. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. Enjoy the beach.
I would never miss the winter.
anyway, getting back to our interview, Brian, go ahead and take it away.
So, Nick, that's a pretty cool song. One thing I'd like to address is, first of all, what was the song? And
That was My Babe by Little Walter.
Very cool. And the thing that you played it on, that is one sweet instrument here. Is there a story behind that?
Sort of. I mean, I bought it with my own money. This is the second guitar I ever bought with my own money. The first one was a $100 piece of crap Strat from a pawn shop, which I still have to this day.
Right.
But this guitar I bought right before I came to Columbus, and I got it from a store in Brunswick for about $350. It's called a Johnson Swamp Stomper. Like, I saw it on the wall, and I asked to play it, and I tested it out for the first couple of days, and for like the first day, and I was like, I have to own this guitar one day. So I put it on layaway, paid it off in a couple of weeks, and it was pretty cool.
It's very
he's doing a whole lot better. I know that between and you probably know some of these names, which is Neil Lucas and Skylar Soffrey.
Oh yeah, no,
and
so
forth. And Skylar came on a little while back, and he mentioned that his first guitar was $5.
Oh shoot! Well, yeah.
Nylon strings and all. But Neil came on here and he said, "Man, you guys are absolutely going to hate me." And we said, "Why?" He said, "My first guitar was a Fender Stratocaster."
Yeah, mine was a Squire Stratocaster.
And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Oh yeah,
a Fender Strat.
Well, my first guitar ever was my dad gave it to me. It was a Squire Bullet. It was a little beginner's guitar. He got it for I don't even know how much, and it was kind of crazy. But the first one that I actually bought myself was the Strat from a pawn shop for about $100. I worked mowing yards and stuff for a couple weeks, and paid it off. Got me a guitar.
Now this is this a resonator?
Yeah, it's a resonator. It's kind of like a dobro, except you can actually touch the frets.
Right.
Dobro is raised up, so you have to use a slide, which you can still use a slide on this one.
And that sounds like the blues from like Louisiana, New Orleans, or something.
Yeah. That's the called country blues. Just a dude in his guitar going, "I'm feeling bad."
Hey, what is it that? What is this? Is it made metal right here?
Yeah, it's got a metal plate and a little thing that makes it resonate better. So, like, actually, if you take the guitar and you go like this,
oh yeah,
y'all can hear that on the thing. I'll do it again. It echoes.
There you go. Get the echo.
So,
only here will you hear people screaming into their guitar.
Oh yeah. I do a lot of stuff in my guitar. I actually broke this guitar not too long ago. If you can see here, I'm gonna just turn it like right.
Oh,
here.
you did.
I had to glue that sucker.
Wow.
Yeah, I dropped it. I was playing at church and dropped it. I put it on the stand, and the stand didn't want to cooperate, and it fell as I was walking away.
Oh, like it broke all the way through.
No, it just cracked. Yeah, pretty much. It didn't like go all the way off, though,
okay,
so I just glued it and clamped it for a night, and plays good.
Yeah, you never know.
It sounds great.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So, Nick, tell me a little bit about what you have going on out there in the world currently.
Mostly school related, but we still do a lot of cool stuff. I'm with 3 school ensembles. Well, 4 really. Okay, I'm in the Schwob Jazz Orchestra, which is I think 17, 18, 19 piece big band, and we play gigs all over the state. We played our gig a couple months ago at the Gala Museum, at the Millennium Gate Museum in Atlanta for a gala that was for Rosalind Carter,
Oh, cool.
and she was there, and along with a whole bunch of other rich people, and so it was pretty cool. And the mayor of Columbus was there, and so it was pretty cool. And then I'm also with the quintet, the Show Jazz Quintet or Quartet, whatever it tends to be each semester. We played chamber music, small group jazz.
Right,
It's good stuff. And then with the popular music program, that's where the fun starts, because we play shows at the Loft all the time that are at least once a semester. That's we have a theme each semester. First year we had a blues theme, then we did a Led Zeppelin tribute show, and then we did a Muscle Shoals tribute show. And we actually went to Muscle Shoals.
Fun.
Then we did this past 2 Saturdays ago, we did a Prince tribute show.
Oh,
at the
cool.
Loft, and that was a lot of fun.
I'll bet. Prince
Yeah,
is cool.
it was packed. That place was jumping.
So you play at the Loft quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they love us at the Loft. They're really good to the students.
That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
Now, there's and sometimes I ask questions on here, and I'm blonde, so I've got a short memory. But some of my questions may be redundant. But I like to get to every little piece of information there is to get. Now, you've there's a lot of jazz in. Did you just kind of go in the direction of jazz by circumstance? Is jazz something that you are chasing down? I mean, there's a lot of jazz in what you do,
Mm-hmm.
and is that 20 years from now? Do you want to be playing jazz at?
I haven't thought that far ahead yet, but I mean, yeah, I really like jazz. When I first got here, the only reason I wasn't playing jazz already because I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
I have very, very limited knowledge of jazz when I got here, and it was, yeah, I've come a long way since then because I actually know I have because there was no jazz back where I was from. Nobody played jazz. Even to this day, I think there's one group that plays jazz in Brunswick, Georgia, and yeah, nothing. So I really didn't have anything. So it's still relatively new to me.
Right. Yeah.
But I've just been studying and working on it for these past 2 years, so I'm getting a handle on it. I can actually sound like I know what I'm doing now.
Right.
It didn't always used to be that way. So now, yeah, I'm sure I'm going to keep it with me because it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that because I heard you doodling around before we started the show, and it sounded like the old 1940s cartoons, Bugs Bunny. They had a lot of jazz in there.
Oh yeah.
And it was like and it's like yeah. But the thing I noticed about it was blues is 1-4-5. And there's lead to fill in. But with jazz, it's very busy. You can't get
the thing about blues is that blues gave birth to jazz. See, I took jazz history, so I learned basically all American popular music came from the blues.
Right.
And among other things, of course. But the blues, there was country blues, and then there was classic blues. Country blues is just a dude on his porch with a guitar.
Right, yeah.
And nobody really knew about that until the electric guitar came along because nobody could hear acoustic guitar on the stage.
Yeah.
And but with jazz, classic blues was started out, it was like Ma Rainey and who else? Bessie Smith. People like that who it was piano, they would have a horn player, they had drums, bass, and a singer. And that was like the start of actual what jazz was going to blues. They would just play blues. Yeah. Be like,
right, yeah.
And blues gave birth to rock and roll and so on and so forth. But the classic blues is where jazz came from.
Wow.
And so it's all related, really. And I've always loved the blues. The blues is just gets me. I don't know. Maybe it's a guitar player thing, but it's probably my favorite genre to listen to and play.
Well, now let's go forward a little bit. Well, actually, has anything changed in what you listened to when you were growing up, as opposed to what you're listening to now?
Oh yeah,
any given Sunday.
Oh yeah, there's so much more now. It'll change because I being at School of Music, I'm exposed to a lot of music.
Right.
That isn't just classical or jazz, like fusion and hip hop and stuff that I really never would have listened to. But I listen into it from a different perspective now, and so I'm thinking about it in a different sense, and it helps me enjoy it more. And that's another cool thing about School of Music.
Where would you like to see yourself? You said you hadn't thought it 20 years ahead. Where would you like to see yourself in 5 years?
Making money playing music somehow. I'm
Good goal.
ready to be done with school, to be honest. Kind of over it. There's just, the music's awesome. Everything else sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Reminds me of a meme I saw that I won't like repeat here, but yeah,
Something like that. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a challenge, but once I get through it, I'm done. And yeah, I just want to be able to do what I want, do what I love.
Very cool. I'll tell you what, let's go to a commercial, and coming back, we're going to bring out that nifty little file box where we can get all of his information, where you can find him, reach him, hire him, all that stuff.
That would be cool.
I'll be right back after this.
Hello, I'm Catherine Childry with Let's Vocalize. For over 35 years, I've coached vocalists and groups privately. I also perform vocal workshops training choirs. I'd love the opportunity to show you how direction, discipline, vocal health care, and regular practice can drastically improve you, your group, or your choir's performance. Call me at 706-536-6123 or visit us online at www.letsvocalize.com. I'd love to help you offer your best gift.
Yes, Toddy, the chocolate malt in a can.
It's so good hot. It's so good cold.
It hits the spot with young and old.
Yes, toddy pleases everybody. Delicious chocolate malted toddy, made with rich, real milk, not powdered milk.
So come and get it, everybody. It's time to drink your chocolate toddy.
Delicious.
Hello and welcome back to the show. Special guest, Mr. Nick Fiveash. And this is a part of the show we like to refer to as the pimping section.
No, that's the part of the show that Brian likes to refer to as the pimping section.
Well, you have the hat for it.
Well, I do have the hat for it. I'd like to do a shout out to this hat because, fedoras have kind of been slowly coming back in, but most of the fedoras have the little narrow brim. I'm a big fan of the straight up Indiana Jones hat. Of course, it was a cool hat before it was an Indiana Jones hat. He just made it cool in the modern public eye. This hat is actually I got it off eBay. It's a J.C. Penney hat from like the 40s. So this is actually like a real fedora.
Hell yeah!
And I'm gonna have to put it in a case one of these days and get one that I'm not afraid of messing.
Oh man, I got you beat. I got fedoras downstairs, bowlers downstairs.
Yeah, he's definitely got the bowler. Yeah.
So
I don't really
that's
wear
what you
too
do
many
when
hats.
you to cover up the bald spots when you get older, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, Nick doesn't have to worry about that. But
No,
I'm getting my fun in while I can.
There you go. I used to have nice long hair way back in the day. So now, the pimping section.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Online, in clubs, whatever.
Well, I play at the Loft periodically. Hit or miss. If you ever see anything having to do with Schwab School of Music, Jazz, or Popular Music Ensemble, that's where I'll be. I have a Facebook, Nick Fiveash, that's my name. And I'm free to do what I can help you find any kind of music. If I'm not what you're looking for, I can help you find it. So, if you like,
we actually right now are taking a look at Nick's Facebook page.
Oh yeah,
and I get to play a lot of times because Brian gets to do the heavy lifting during the interview. So I just get to play over here and look. And Nick's actually got a lot of his performances.
Oh yeah,
here.
yeah, I get videotaped all the time. It's not in that way, but yeah, there's some cool stuff. Yeah, like I said, I played the Loft plenty of times, and I have my own band. We're called Almost Educated, and we play mostly covers, but it's still we play any kind of genre really, just whatever kind of. We even play jazz. It's but I'm the vocalist, guitar player, and I have a guitar, bass, and drums, and so we're just a trio, but we make it work.
Hey, trios are cool. I've seen a couple of trios around town that were like just phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I looked at a couple of your performances, and I want to say on one you were playing. Let me see. I'm actually looking it up here, guys, while I'm talking to you. But
it's creeping on.
You didn't say who it was, but actually somebody said, "Hey, that's my son, Nick Fiveash, in the sunglasses."
Well, that's my mom.
Yeah, she didn't have the name Fiveash. That's what threw me.
Oh yeah, she's remarried, but yeah.
But you were Mr. Lloyd Buchanan.
Yes, I did play with Mr. Lloyd Buchanan of the Alabama Shakes backup singers.
Nice.
I've also recorded with him at the Loft Studio when we did an album for the Popular Music Ensemble. Me and him recorded The Thrill Is Gone, along with Neil Lucas on guitar.
Oh, is Neil in there? I know Neil plays a lot of blues.
Oh yeah, I've seen Neil. Play with him a couple times. Yeah, he's fantastic.
Well, you know, the reason I commented on this specific one is it seemed more kind of like old pop.
Oh yeah, it's Prince. Yeah,
Prince. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
I knew it was
played,
a Prince night.
Yeah, we were playing at the Prince show, and then Lloyd came on as Morris Day because the other.
That's right. It was a time song.
Yeah, we played. It was The Bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, on command, ladies and gentlemen. Pull it up.
This guy's awesome, man.
Yeah, and but yeah, Lloyd's fantastic. And last semester he played with us at the Muscle Shoals tribute show, and yeah, and the rest of the backup singers from the Alabama Shakes. There's two girls, Shanae and Karita, and they're both all of them can sing their butts off. And Lloyd can also. He's a genius musician. He can play piano like a boss. He can play bass.
Wow.
And I've seen him play drums once or twice. So he's all over the place. He's just fantastic.
He is. He looks like how should I say, a man towards my age. He's actually past my age, but I tell you what, he hasn't lost a step.
Oh yeah.
And you can tell.
Tear it up.
You know, I'll say it again, guys. If you get a chance, you actually do want to head over to Nick's Facebook page and. I'm sitting here playing around while I'm talking to you, but there's a lot of interesting stuff on his page. He's just...
it's my personal and professional page.
Yeah.
For the most part, because I don't really have a professional page yet.
I mean, it's got a lot of your stuff, but at the same time, there's not. It's not all your stuff. You've got, you know, history of different music genres and articles, and it's just a really absolutely fascinating thing to look at.
That's cool. Now, the question I like to ask of all my guests: what advice would you give to aspiring musicians or artists of any kind?
Don't limit yourself as far as genre or your knowledge of music goes. I know a lot of people who they'll say things like, "Oh, I hate like rap" or "I hate heavy metal." I'm like, don't limit yourself like that. I know you. If you say you hate rap, that means you've hated most rap you've heard. But I guarantee, if you search and look for other kinds of music and be open-minded, you'll give yourself more perspective on music, and you can give yourself a better sense of music that you otherwise wouldn't get by listening to the same stuff over and over again. So even if you're playing country and that's all you want to play, listen to some other stuff because it'll help you with your countrying. Like I said, before I got to school of music, I pretty much only listened to like rock and roll and blues and stuff. And I listened to some jazz just because I knew that's what I was going to do in college. But I was like, I didn't know what to listen to, so still listening to Zeppelin and my Van Halen and all that kind of stuff. But once I got to school, I started listening to like more hip hop influenced stuff and more jazz fusion, and I've always listened to some country, but I started listening to more country once I got to college, and you know, just getting all around feel of everything, and not limiting yourself.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that your favorite singer, rapper's favorite, whatever country singer knows. Is you know, listens to a bunch of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like most of the fans they want to listen to one type of music, but the artist that they're listening to probably listens to a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, I'm finding there's more, and I'm talking in the popular, you know, music thing, that there are more. I guess I should say crossover artists these days.
Yeah.
I have watched. You know, back rock and roll, which watched Tyler from Aerosmith. He went country.
DMC too.
And, you know, and it absolutely shocked me. I think it was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. They announced at the last minute they had the CMA Awards, Country Music Awards.
And Beyonce was on
Beyonce pops up with the Dixie Chicks, and that's something that you never would have imagined.
Right? I didn't expect that, yeah. It's crazy.
But they said they announced it like 2 hours before the show.
Yeah, and the cool thing about jazz has always been doing stuff like that. It's jazz is an interesting genre of music because it's always evolving and absorbing other influences. It's like a plague of music, but it's a good thing because it's like because that's where you get fusion from. Like there's this newer guy named Robert Glasper. He's come out in the past 10 or so years, and he's a jazz pianist, but he also does like hip hop, and it's very well done. He's very good, and he mixes the R&B and the hip hop beats together with jazz harmony. And
wow.
He's fantastic, and there's all sorts of other stuff you can do with it. Like it goes back to the not limiting yourself thing.
Right? Yeah. Well, Nick, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Sir. Thanks
Great
for having
interview,
me.
man. Great sound.
Thank you.
You got anything else, Tim, before we head out?
No, actually, it just gave me a lot to think about. I think I'll go listen to some rap.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that, ladies and gentlemen. Knowing how much I hate rap, yes, I'll go listen to some rap today. So.
You gotta look for it, but you'll find something, all right.
Until next time, I'm your host Brian Mallard. We got Tim over there behind the console doing all the magic, and Nick Fiveash. Show him some love. Find him at the loft or wherever he goes.